This conference will now be recorded.
There we are. We're recording. I am going to just start everything up here. I've got all my slides ready. Joe just sent me a quick text to let me know that you can hear me fine and clear. And I'm really excited to have you all here today because I have been exploring Google My Business. It's growing in popularity. It's not going anywhere, and it's exciting times because, and I'll show you what's ahead. Some of you are already using Google My Business, or you have your listing already ready, and then some of you may not. So this webinar, there's going to be something in it for everybody who's here. So thanks for joining me today. So what we're going to talk about, I'm going to kind of outline the importance of Google My Business, or GMB, for local search, how it shows you as a local business. It's also great for setting up, your listing as well. And I'm going to show you how to get it verified, the steps you need to take, because that opens up a lot more doors for you when you're verified. How to apply the tools that are available to you. I'm also going to touch upon some video and Google My Business, because we all know the importance of video and how that's rising. And I'm going to show you how you can apply that with CBDCs, because you don't have to have an undergrad degree in videology or whatever it's called to know. I mean, there's a lot of apps out there that make it really easy and simple if you want to use video. And then, of course, last but not least, it's reviews. I mean, wow. I mean, we all need it. It's user-generated content. A lot of people want to read those reviews. So to get a great review, you have to work at it. And Google is definitely making us work for it. So here we go. So the importance of Google My Business. And I'm sure a lot of you know it's important. I know it comes down to probably time at the end of the day, but I want to show you today that it doesn't take a lot of time, and I'm going to explain how. So getting back, 1 in 2 people who do a local search, either visit or contact that business that day. Think of yourselves. You're looking for a pizza, you're looking for a nail salon, you're looking for business advice. I mean, people are looking, they're searching, they're not going to do it next week. I mean, they're pretty much going to be doing it immediately, whether they're going to take action to follow you on Facebook or leave a comment or send an email. So think of that. It's important. So when people are Googling businesses, or particularly yours, you want to make sure you have accurate and up-to-date information. You got to make sure everything is complete. You're filling out all the blanks, and that it is optimized. So what I did, as what anybody would do in prep for anything like this, for a webinar, I thought I'd do a Google search, and I just typed in CBDC. And I encourage you guys all to do that too at some point after the webinar. Of course, I need your absolute attention right now. But what I was doing to prepare for this, I wanted to see what showed up. And this is what showed up. And as you can see, if I scroll down further, I would see a lot more. But there's about under 20 CBDCs that have a Google My Business listing. And you guys would know more than I if that's everybody, or I have a feeling it's probably not everyone, but these were the ones that are there now. A lot of these are complete, some of them are not complete, some of them are impartial, that sort of thing. And the goal of today's webinar is not to call out certain CBDCs, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. That's not the idea. I'm here to help you and to show you how you can optimize your business listing to get the most out of it that you can. This is what is available to you. So you've probably seen this before. If you're on your smartphone, or if you're on your computer, you're searching for something, there's lots of opportunities that come up. So for example, people can leave a review. They could also, you could ask a question that you can answer right online. Everybody will see it. It'll even show you some web results. For example, where else this CBDC Central shows up. And if you can really note, the Facebook page shows up as well. So Facebook shows up in search. So you want to make sure that all of these areas are optimized and best utilized for you. So Google shows you some top 3 web results. You can't control that. It just appears because it's also scrolling the internet for where your information is. Now, some of you may or may not be verified, so it's important first step to look at to get that blue check that you're verified. It's important to have that as part of your strategy, and I'm going to tell you here's why. Because getting on Google My Business, you can increase your chances of showing up on Google's local pack, meaning that if you search anything on Google, it will help. It will show up on maps. It will show up on organic rankings. It's a good idea to get verified. And if you're not yet, do it now. Not right now, maybe after this webinar, but I encourage you to verify your business because you'll be in control of it. And I'll explain more reasons in just a second here, because as you can see, this is sociable media. I've got the blue check. You need the blue check because it tells Google that your information is accurate and they can share updates and information with you. Once verification is complete, your business, you'll be appearing on Google search, you'll appear in Google Maps and other Google properties. And that's what they say. Google properties could be Google Play, it could be YouTube, it could be in other areas that it might just show up on. But for sure, the focus is on search and on Google Maps. So get verified. Now, a lot of businesses just kind of, claim their listing and then they let it go. I mean, they get the blue check and they verify it. But it's not a good idea, and here's why. If you don't fill out that information, someone else could. And this is the little scary moment here, but bear with me. I'm going to talk it out. Anyone can suggest a change or an edit to your business listing. Like if you are on Google now, you can see how you can suggest a change. And that could be by anybody. It could be your competitors. It could be somebody who had a bad experience, who's, that kind of thing. For example, here's Riley's Cafe that I found in Cedar Rapids. I can suggest an edit. I can go in there and I can change their address. I could mess up their hours. I could change their website. It's a little scary, but I just wanted to show you how important it is to get verified, because these aren't just suggested edits, because Google wants to have user generated information. So, these changes could be taken live without even you being notified or knowing it. And that's why it's important. So if you see updates and it's something that you didn't do, it could be Google making the changes themselves because it's their algorithm, or they found new information about your business, they found other business links, maybe a news article, that kind of thing. So we can't control that. But maybe there was a change that Google found to your Google map. Maybe you changed locations, that kind of thing. Or a Google user, which is, somebody other than you, submitted an edit that was published. And that's the scary part that you probably don't want. So yes, when people make suggested edits, they're not really suggestions. They're often made live and you won't know. So for example, here's one listing here. I left it anonymous, but because it's not verified, someone could go in there and mess with it. And we don't want that. I don't want that for you. So beware. You may or may not be notified. Google has millions and millions of Google accounts, and they put the onus on you to be checking. So in order to check, it's a good idea to download the mobile app. I have an iPhone, so I have the app. They have also for Android as well. And I check on it every once in a while. I just see what's up. And plus, I kind of geek out with the numbers and the standings and see how things are going. So I kind of check in once in a while because I want to see that. So for verifying your business, all you need to do is log into your account and there's many different ways that you can have it verified. And they walk you through it. It's pretty straightforward. You can either do it by mail, which I did. It took about 5 to 7 business days, and then I got this code in the mail. And then once I did that, I plugged in that code, and then I was verified. You can do it by phone, you can do it by email, you can do it instantly, or you can have a bulk. Like if you have lots of other locations for CBDC, you can go in and do it for others if you're the admin for the other ones, if you were a larger company or business. So some of these are available to you, some are not. I think at the time when I was doing this, the only one available to me was by mail, but sometimes it might show up and you can do it by phone. So if you are waiting to be verified, it's very important to not mess with anything. Don't make any changes. They'll even tell you don't make any changes to your account until you get that verification code. And I think it's like 4 digits they send you. So questions and answers. So getting back to how people can go in and suggest an edit and change around. On the flip side of that, this is where the user-generated content area is. People can ask questions and answers if they wanted to, which is great. And if you're verified, you'll get a notification that you have a question that needs to be responded to. It's all great. Not a lot of people are using this feature, but still it's good to be aware of it, to know that people can ask questions and you can answer openly and transparently for all to see. Like I said, user-generated content. They're building their community. If I want to ask, and it's all public for everyone to see. So make sure you give some thought if you do get an online question from Google. Okay, now we're getting into the meat of it. We're going to go through in the next few slides how to actually set up a Google My Business listing. If you have one already, then you're making edits to it. You're going to make sure you're checking to make sure it's verified, all that fun stuff. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't take a lot of time to set it up. You just need to put aside, for some of you, it might take 15 minutes. So I think at most, don't quote me here, but it could take around half an hour, which isn't bad. And then you're just kind of monitoring it afterwards. You're just checking in or creating some posts. So it's a good investment to make and to focus on that. How do you do it? Well, if you're signing in or starting for the first time, it's just type in that URL address, google.ca/business. That gets you in. Bookmark that. You can sign in. You need a Google account, email account like Gmail to sign in. It's like if you have Hotmail, it won't work. So you probably will have to create a Gmail account to sign in, because Google likes to talk with Google products. So just so you know. All right, so when you sign in, or when you go through the steps of signing up, make sure that the spelling is correct. But this is what shows up when I sign in to social media. So this is my dash. This is where I can manage my locations. So for example, I'm a home-based business, and my son has a home-based business as well. We both share the same address. So that's why you're seeing 2 listings here. If I was on my own, I would be just seeing social media. So for some of you CBDCs, you may be out there and you may be in a building where there's 5 or 6 other businesses that are operating. You may get this location as well. But also, if you're not seeing it, it's probably because you're not an admin or something like that, because I'm an admin of my son's business, because we check on each other. So don't be alarmed if you see more than one location. Just check the one that's yours, and then go ahead. This is the magical dashboard. This is where the good stuff is, and this is where you need to go and spend some time, spend that 15 minutes, spend that half an hour going through and making sure your information is up to date and accurate. So this is my home. This is where it's at. So at the top, I can create a post. I can add a photo. I can even link it to my Google Ads account. So I could go in and have everything in just in one big location if I wanted to. I can create a post, very much like a social media post, and I can see what my business looks like on maps, see what it looks like on search. I can see how many people visited my business, all of that. It's all there for you to look at. But where you want to really go is probably have a look at posts. Google, as we all know, Google Plus is it's dead. It's gone away. It's not being used anymore. So I really get the good sense that Google is replacing Google Plus with Google My Business because they want user generated content. They want information to be relevant in there. So in Google My Business, you can create posts. And the nice thing about it, and I know you're all thinking, great, I have a Facebook page, I've got Twitter, I've got Instagram, now I got Google My Business to keep up to date. Well, not so much because they like to recycle the content every 7 days, so once a week, and then it will just kind of go off to the wayside. But there's all kinds of things that you can add here. You can add events, you could do products, you could do what's new. There's wonderful ideas that you can share here and just upload once a week, or maybe once a month if that makes more sense to you. Whatever you have time to do. For post ideas, you can set up an event. You can create a post about CBDC programs. You can share a blog post if you wanted to in a short description. You can link it to the blog post, that is elsewhere. Or you can focus on a CBDC client success stories. I know they're being shared all the time, so there's lots of content out there for you. You just need to go to the main website and kind of copy and paste. That's what I would do, and just share it within your Google My Business as a post. You can also share a holiday message post, maybe, or award season, highlighting some really great entrepreneurs that are out there. You're going to have fun with it. But it's kind of becoming a little bit of like social media in a way, but it's for Google, and it's great for analytics. It's great for your search standings and all that goodness stuff that Google is great for. So if you're forgetful with your posts, well, Google's really good at sending you reminders. For example, they'll send you a notice that, last week I shared a post that I was getting ready for this webinar today. So here I am, just recently, I got a post to say, hey, it's about to expire. They're not going to take it down. It won't be as fresh anymore. So they're asking me, hey, do you want to write another one? I was like, okay, sure, or I will later, that kind of thing. So that's how Google is really starting to push people to write posts once a week, short little snippets, not asking for 15 paragraphs, maybe just a quick little, keep it social media short, if that makes any sense. Make it a few sentences with a picture. They love the pictures. Always have a photo. So here we're going to start customizing your business listing, but keep in mind your changes won't appear on any Google property until you're verified. So they're really trying to push that. All right, and then here's another pro tip before we jump back into that original dashboard that we opened up. So Google My Business, I'm going to say it now, it's not a set it and forget it local business listing. You don't set it up and then walk away. You have to go back and go in and check. You're either sign in to google.com, or you're going to have the app on your mobile phone, and you're going to check it once in a while. You could do it just sitting at a traffic light. Well, no, it's not. That's not a good analogy. Anyways, you could, you get my point. It would only takes a quick few seconds to have a quick view of it, and just to see if everything is copacetic, and then you can move on with your day, or you can add a post. All right, so we're back to the main dashboard. Here we go. So we talked about posts. Now we're talking about info. And this is where another juicy part is that is amazing. So I'll show you. See where all the pencil icons are? Those are all editable. So your hours. They'll also, Google My Business will send you a note to say, hey, we know that Easter is coming up. Are you open Good Friday or Easter Monday? That's where you can put your special hours in there if you wanted to. I have my service areas as Halifax, United States, Canada. You can change that too. It's also good to fill in the blanks that I'm a marketing agency. Fill in all those buckets that are relevant to where you are. The information on the right, far right column there, the advanced information, don't worry about store codes or labels, that sort of thing, because that is if you're like a Banana Republic or something and you all have your own store code, that's more relevant for them. So the middle column is where the good stuff is at. And for example, if I scroll down further, you got to put in your website information, your services that you have. Spend a lot of time here, and also fill in who you are, what you're all about, and you probably have your own information, or you can get it from the main website, what have you. Everything's already there. Throw some keywords in there as well, like put some words in there that are trigger words that people are finding you by. And so on. One area that I want to focus here is services. This is really big, and this is one area that probably not a lot of people have populated this area. So spend some time on services. I put a star there because it's important. So for example, with me, with services, for example, I can create different items and headers. So for social media marketing, and then I broke it down and got into a little more details. And the dots on the right are where you can make your edits. All of these things, right? So for example, you only have so much space to type, what the item name is, and then you can describe it. All of these things. So spend some time, with your services section, and make sure everything is in there. I know you have a lot of great programs at CBDC, so add them all in there. Even if it's just your area, don't assume that people can find it elsewhere. They may only be in your area. So put those programs and services in. Now I'm jumping ahead here to insights. This is really cool. Google My Business will tell you how people are finding you. These are keywords, and these are amazing things. I don't know how milliners near me got there, but marketing consultant, public relations, social media consultant. So that's how people are finding me, and it will rank them. It's very awesome information to have. So when you're writing your content, try and use these words in there if you can, if it's applicable. More insights, if I scroll down, they'll even tell me how people are finding my business, whether it's through direct search from typing in my URL directly, or if it's through discovery, which is through search. And I can look at from the past month, I can look at from the last quarter, I can look at the past year. So it's really great to know. And this is a helpful tip, and Google's really good at giving you tips. Businesses with recent photos typically receive more clicks to their websites, post photos. So because they're starting to move in the direction where they want recency, they want things to be relevant. So if you have photos, why not add some in there? And you have a lot to choose from. One other thing is reviews. I don't have any yet, but I'm sure a lot of you already do on some of your Google Your Business pages. You have one or two. I saw one had 5. And it's a wonderful place to get reviews and ask for them. For example, you can view your messages on your, messages. Let me see. Yeah. So what you could do is, sorry, I jumped ahead there. With reviews, you can even get the link from Google My Business. And so you can share it on Facebook, or you can share it with clients. Encourage people to leave a review. Of course, you can in the actual search area itself. But it's good. Don't be scared. People, will probably give you a really great review. So also, they're getting to the messages. So I'm moving down one tab to messages, because once you're verified, you'll probably get that information. So if someone has a question, all of these things, I've got it set up so it goes to my app, because I live on my phone most of the time. So that's how I have it. So you can install the app from Google Play or the App Store. All right. Getting back to photos, how Google loves photos. So have fun here, but there's certain restrictions that they have with photos. Just don't put any other. Just be very strategic with your photos that you're sharing. It's not Facebook. It's no boomerangs or anything like that. Just make sure it's very professional and clean. But they do favor that, and it's pretty straightforward. How to add photos. For example, they also love videos too. And we all know how video is growing and it's a rising star with especially with social media. Gets noticed a lot more. So Google My Business is getting in on the act as well. So, with videos in Google My Business, they'll, even if you put a couple up, they'll give you a sub tab that will say videos. Make sure your videos are taken at the place of business and, where they show and it's pertaining to the business. So they'll do that and they'll help you along, but they're very strict on what they want to see. Has to exactly be uh, completely related. And if some of you have played with video, it's a lot of fun. These are some apps like Biteable, Animoto, Wave, Promo. I love Wave.video, but you can create a video from your laptop without a lot of experience. If you have some really great photos and you can set something to funky music and you can have complete fun with it. But keep in mind, after you upload it, it can take some time for it to show up. And they want it to be 30 seconds or long. But you can add longer ones, but they somehow they like the 30-second mark. Maybe that's because they know people are scrolling and moving through the news feed or the search feed. Just an option available to you because photos and videos are very important. And if you have that ability or if you have the time once in a while to put a little quick video together, it's not hard. I mean, here I am saying that. You're probably all thinking, but you'd be surprised if you wanted to trial one of these 4 video services and what you can create. It's really quite amazing how it's opened up. All right, back to photos. We're going to talk about website now. So I'm going down this list on the left-hand side here, and the arrow's pointing at website. Yes, you get a website with Google My Business, and here's what it looks like. And this is another huge thing. It's really to me it's kind of crude. It's not very fancy. It's not the CBDC website that you have, and it's not fancy, but it's there. For me it's very limiting, but it's great because when people see that, when they're on Google search, when they click on website, they're going to land here. And for example, I can add my information and all of these things. So if I click on the edit tab on the far left-hand corner, I can choose my primary button. I have my primary button as my phone number, but it could be an email address. It could be any kind of call to action that I want it to have, but I just chose my phone number. Make sure your company is there, your description, your header. Fill out everything that you can, and make sure that it's complete. That's it. So for example, when I scroll down, I can see a post, that post that I did for the webinar prep that I was starting to start on last week. So you can see that it will start to, add in those posts. As I scroll down further, I can see those services. Remember a few slides ago, I was talking about services. So this is how important it is to make sure you have all your information in there, because it's going to show up on this little micro website that Google My Business is going to provide for you. You can edit those services. You can go in and change it if there's a spelling mistake or you don't want that service, what have you. And you can put in as many services and programs that you want. Just a little teaser information. Don't have to, doesn't have to be all that long. Be choosy with the words that you use. Keep it short and concise. Testimonials are great, and as you know, as I mentioned earlier, I don't have a review yet, but if I have one, it would show there. But I can copy my review link so I can share it in an email, or I can share it on Facebook, even though Facebook has their own reviews. But sometimes you need to make the choice whether you want Facebook reviews, which are great, or you can have Google reviews, which are also great. So you have some choice here. And also, if I scroll down further, remember how I said I do business in Halifax and Nova Scotia, Canada, and United States? Well, this is where it shows up. These are my zones that I chose earlier, and where where I'm located, and the services and how to contact me. And Google will show, will help me in search. It will probably, if I was in Guatemala, it probably wouldn't quite show up, but it will show up in these areas. Those are my service areas that I do business in. For you guys, it would look a little bit different than this. All right, so what we're going to go is, so we're going to look at users, or we're going to talk about users, because if you're in an office with 3 or 4 other people who can update this page, you can create more than one user, just like you can with a Facebook page. You can have an admin, but then you all have other people who have access to that. So it's the same with Google My Business. You can have more than one user who can have access to this account. You have one primary person, and then you can assign others. So it's easy to switch the primary persons around. If it's somebody else who leaves CBDC and there's a new person who comes on board, very easy to switch up and change your users around. So have a look at that. Make sure your users are up to date and it's not somebody who is no longer with you or what have you, or you want to add somebody in. Like I said earlier, you can create an ad if you link it with your Google ad account, which is great. You can link your accounts with it as well. And what I mean by that is, I had a look at, for example, the other day I was playing around and I wanted to look at hair salons in Fredericton. And here's what I found. I just did those 3 words, hair salon Fredericton, and up came one of these options. If you see here, you see Regis Salon. See the book button? There's book right there, which is really cool. The other ones don't have it, but this one does. And I don't know if you guys have tried this, but I found this amazing. I could go in and I could see, once I clicked on the book button, I could see where they were located. I could see their services that they have, and I could book those services all from Google My Business and not even have to go in to their website or even have to phone a phone number. I could just do it myself, and I could just be, what have you, left alone and go ahead and do it. I could choose my service that I wanted to have. I could pick my day. I could pick my time that I wanted, and I can even choose who I wanted it with. And then all these things were available to me, which was quite interesting. And it's going to be happening. You're going to be seeing this a lot more because Google is integrating with a lot more booking services. So for example, the Mind Body app, which is kind of close in the middle there, it's a fitness app. There's a few fitness studios that subscribe to that service. I could book my yoga class at 7 o'clock on a Sunday, through Google, myself. So it's really interesting how they're starting to use this platform and not even have to go visit the website anymore. You could probably even order a pizza if you wanted to. So it's coming. These integrations are happening all the time. There's dozens available, and there's going to be dozens more as time goes by. So I thought that was really cool. So back to the photos again. And I'm going to scroll down because we talked about photos, we talked about the website, how you can add users, how you can manage your locations if you have more than one. You can link your accounts and integrate it with other services. And then we're going to hit on settings. And the settings thing is really interesting because I want to take a minute here to walk through it with you, because this is where I've set up my email. Yes, I want to get updates. Yes, I want to be notified and alerted when somebody leaves a review. Questions and answers, you bet I want to be able to answer those questions. Photos, they want to send you tips. They want to send you insights, which I love. And, product updates, posts, feedback. So click as many of those as you want. Click them all. No harm, no foul. Why not? Because it's your business and you should be keeping tabs on it. So when you're verified, you're going to get these types of emails. I just got this earlier today. It tells me how my business did for the month of February. And yeah, the numbers are low, but that's the way I am. I'm not a storefront. I'm not that. But the thing is, it'll give me once a month. It'll give me a little bit of a performance and how I'm ranking and how I'm doing otherwise, right? Do you notice one thing here? Stand out to customers with a post about your business. Create a post. So right away, Google My Business is encouraging people to write posts. And I know, probably rolling your eyes saying, great, another platform to update. I don't have time. But if you do maybe one a month or one a week, that's current and relevant, and you're checking back, I think that would be a really great place to be. But you can see how it's almost becoming the new Google Plus, in my opinion, anyways. So you're probably wondering how Google determines your local ranking. Like, how come, is it alphabetical? Is it according to time and location? Well, I actually went into Google themselves, and the Google gods told me they look at relevance. They look at how it matches what you're looking for. So, for example, pizza in Charlottetown. They also look at complete and detailed business information. So the more you fill out those empty spaces on your Google My Business, the better it is for relevance, and you're going to show up in those kinds of searches. They're also going to look at distance and where you are. So if you're, if a user, most of us on our phones, if you go visit somewhere, there's they know your location. They can tag your location. Some people have that toggled off. But if you have it off, it makes it a little harder. But if they know that I was visiting Amherst on my phone and I went in and searched pizza in Amherst, or just pizza near me, they're going to know that I'm in Amherst because of my phone tracking. So that's the way some people have it set up. They're always going to look at prominence, and that refers to how well known you are, if you have lots of good content out there. So what they say is if you have really great information like links and articles and directories, if you were in the newspaper or if you were online, they're going to be scrolling for anywhere your local CBDC is located and where you're mentioned online. They're going to be looking for that. They're going to be scraping that. Google review count. This is another thing why reviews are great. The more reviews and positive ratings will probably improve your local ranking. So that's why it's good to ask for reviews. 9 times out of 10, they'll probably be good. But it's good to have it, to get it out there, because it helps you, because as Google gains user generated content, they're going to be finding, they want to know. So your position in web results is also a factor. So SEO best practices also apply to local search. You can't buy it. And here's what they say. You can't pay it. We do our best to keep the details of the search algorithm confidential and to make the ranking system as fair as possible for everyone. Quote, end quote. So you can't pay to play. It's really about having great content out there, putting photos up, putting posts up, asking for reviews, that sort of thing, and also looking at your insights to see how people are searching you, because you can put that as part of your SEO. All right, so to wrap things up, and here we are, we're about 40 minutes in. So I talked about how to verify your business and those steps. Really straightforward to do. You have some choices that you can, if you have them available to you, to do that. how to set up your Google My Business listing, focusing on the services and the posts, and also the little micro website that they give you. Spend some time on that. And then what an optimized listing or website looks like. And then how to enhance your Google My Business listing, like how, the services and the website. So I that is it. I mean, if you I hope this encouraged all of you to go and go in and have a look at your own, set it up or finesse it. And I think I need to stop sharing so I can open it up. Let me see. Joe, are you still there?
I am. Thanks, Maria, very much. I think
Yeah.
I just unmuted everyone. So if there's any questions for Maria on what she presented here today, I'll just leave. I'll let you guys ask away.
Yeah, I mean, it's really amazing how in the last little while, Google My Business is a lot more people are taking it seriously. And the best thing about it is it's free. It doesn't cost any money to do this. So it's the only cost involved is your time and putting it together. And as you can tell, oh yeah, you can see your CBC. How do the stars get rated? That's a good question. With Google reviews, they probably I think the stars work. You can choose the stars if you're leaving a review on a Google My Business. I know that some listings let you do that, or Google will choose it themselves. Do the business owners need to have a Google email address? Yes, some of my clients have actual Gmail accounts, like some dentists and that sort of thing. It's not their business account, it's a Gmail address. That's what Google favors when you're setting up. Definitely. They want to be within their own platform. And it's the same with Google Ads. If you're going to be doing that, they want to have that Gmail. They like to see that Gmail address for sure. Um,
Any more
yeah,
questions, folks, through the chat, or if you'd like to ask Maria a question, your mic is or your phone is unmuted there, so feel free to ask away.
yeah. Are there any other questions? Let's see. So yeah, that's all. I can't reiterate enough. Oh, once we're verified, will we be notified by email? But does this have to be? Well, it depends. You can choose to have, for me, in my instance, I had my code, my 4-digit code mailed to me. They don't send you an email unless that option is available to you. I wish it was faster for me at the time, but I had to wait a week, until I got that piece of paper. But yeah, I hope that answers your question. So with the email side of it. I just want to.
Also, Maria, there was a couple comments. One from Stephen, and
Oh,
yeah, it is a great tool we can use to recommend to our clients and retail businesses that we serve in our area. And we'll also make this presentation available, so you can also it'll be on YouTube, so you can share the link with your clients. We looked at this as a PD session for CBDC staff and board to take advantage of, and we'll be working with the marketing contacts or executive directors in each location to ensure that CBDCs have a presence on Google My Business, and that the content is there and they're verified. But also, it's another tool in your guys' toolbox to help with your clients as well, make them aware of Google My Business and the importance of it. And you can share with them, by all means, the video copy of this presentation. We'll make it available once we have the recording done.
yeah, exactly. It's definitely worth sharing to your clients who you're working with, because a lot of them are starting out, and because this is free and it's all part of their search. It's amazing that you can control that. You can have that message. So if you're an online business with no storefront, can you omit being located on the map? I have, Catherine, you asked that a few minutes ago, because I don't have a storefront business myself. So I can see my address when I'm editing it, but I really prefer not to be shown, and I can toggle that off if I wanted to, because I don't want people coming to my house. So yeah, they make that available too. All right. I think we're all good, guys. What do you think, Joe?
Yeah, I think so. Unless there's any more questions, I think it was a very informative session. I think
Hmm.
I've definitely learned some things, and it's I was just following along with Google My Business settings as you were going through that, and I
Yeah,
have a little bit of
good.
things to do there to tighten things up. So we'll be in touch from a marketing perspective here, sending this
Mhm.
out to the members, and then also making, I guess, a checklist of things that we can work with the CBDCs to ensure that they verify their business and that we can help them along the way get those done. So we'll have the next time we check, hopefully have 41 of the 41 that are verified and set up on Google My Business.
Great. Excellent. Good. Okay, everyone. Have a great day. Thank you for
Thanks,
joining.
thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Maria.
Take care. Bye bye.
Cheers.
Bye.